What does it take to have an impact? What does it take to be leaders? And what does it take to be committed to Eastern Washington?
Simply put, Washington Policy Center is committed to improving the lives of Washingtonians all across our state. As one of the largest state-based research organizations in the country, we have a statewide staff of 17 and offices in Spokane, Tri-Cities, Seattle, and Olympia. And our ideas and research are routinely used by both parties at the local, state, and federal levels.
The work of the Washington Policy Center covers 6 research areas: education, environment, government reform, healthcare, transportation, and small business, with experts in each field producing high-quality analysis. Citizens also depend on our legislative website, washingtonvotes.org. Each year, WPC's ideas and recommendations become law. Our research is in the media more than 5 times a day in Washington State.
It's Chris Cargill with Washington Policy Center, filling in for Mike Fitzsimmons on this Thursday afternoon, and we're talking about public charter schools.
And the center organizes public events and conferences throughout the region.
We want to welcome you this morning to our introduction and celebration of Eastern Washington's first public charter school,
including the highly successful annual dinner events in both Western and Eastern Washington.
5 years ago, we decided to step up our commitment even more. That's when we decided to open our Eastern Washington office.
Chris Cargill is with the Washington Policy Center, a nonpartisan.
According to a report Keeper found from the Washington Policy Center.
The Washington Policy Center thinks the trolley is too expensive.
When we opened the Eastern Washington office, I don't think anyone expected us to be so successful so quickly.
Well, it's actually quite remarkable. Since we opened the Eastern Washington offices, the number of WPC supporters in the region has more than tripled. You're always going to find us in different communities, speaking to groups, advancing positive ideas. We've expanded our healthcare, education, and annual dinner events to Spokane, and began holding our major Solution Summit in the Tri-Cities, which in 2013 featured pollster Scott Rasmussen.
I'm actually delighted to be here because of the name of this summit, a Solutions Summit.
A recent survey of small business owners, in fact, showed we were one of the top sources for public policy information in Eastern Washington, and our work is nowhere near complete.
WPC is taking the lead on keeping Eastern Washington involved in the legislative process, relocating the Center's Office of Government Reform to the Tri-Cities, and calling for a common sense change: remote testimony.
We've been doing it for years with our weekly Wake Up legislative forum, from Wenatchee to Moses Lake. This really isn't a partisan issue, it's a fairness issue.
I've had a good experience with the Washington Policy Center. I've been invited to be involved in several events, which I've appreciated, and I think that exchange is what is really necessary in order to get good public policy.
Because of WPC, it now takes a broader consensus to raise taxes in Spokane and Yakima.
The Washington Policy Center was extremely instrumental. Both city councils are now required to have a supermajority vote before they can raise the financial burden on their citizens.
WPC has grown into what it is today because of the impact that it has. When our researchers and organizations speak, people listen. I get to see that firsthand here in Tri-Cities.
The Washington Policy Center provides accurate, up-to-date information on the issues of the day, and I continue to value their great work. That's why I invited the Policy Center researchers to DC to testify before Congress.
5 years ago, we asked you for your support. We are now asking you for your continued support.
Because whether you're from Chelan, Walla Walla, Colville, or anywhere in Eastern Washington, WPC is there for you.
Congratulations, Washington Policy Center.
Congratulations, Washington Policy Center, on your 5 years in Eastern Washington.
Congratulations, WPC. Keep up the great work. We need you now more than ever.